Before dawn in October 2012, 62-year-old maintenance worker Jose Melena stepped inside a 35-foot-long cylindrical oven to adjust a chain. This machine, a retort, is essentially an industrial-grade pressure cooker used to sterilize canned food. Outside, a coworker made a series of fatal errors. Unaware that Melena was still inside, the worker loaded 12,000 pounds of canned tuna into the machine, slammed the heavy steel door shut, and pressed start. Inside the sealed vessel, the environment rapidly pressurized with saturated steam. The temperature climbed to 270 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 132 degrees Celsius. Because saturated steam transfers heat with extreme efficiency, the activated oven became a lethal trap within seconds. How does a human being end up trapped inside a massive machine that was supposed to be completely de-energized for maintenance? The investigation centered on a specific safety failure regarding OSHA Standard 29 CFR 1910.147. OSHA is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and this specific rule is known throughout the industry as Lockout Tagout, or LOTO. This machine architecture relies on various forms of hazardous energy. Beyond electricity, industrial equipment is powered by stored pneumatic pressure, hydraulic force, thermal heat, and gravity acting on heavy mechanical parts. Without a physical system to isolate these forces, entering an industrial machine is effectively a game of Russian roulette. The worker enters a vacuum where they are entirely dependent on the machine remaining dormant. A rigorous lockout-tagout program creates a non-negotiable physical barrier between routine maintenance and catastrophic injury. At the Bumble Bee Foods plant in Santa Fe Springs, California, the PACE challenge defined daily operations. In food manufacturing, profit is often tied directly to production speed, which can create systemic pressure to bypass time-consuming safety checks. The facility's first failure was administrative. Management did not classify the retort ovens as permit-required confined spaces, a designation that would have required dedicated spotters and documented entry protocols. This lack of oversight allowed a single human assumption to become fatal. A coworker noticed Melena's idle pallet jack sitting on the floor and assumed he was in the restroom. Based on that guess, the coworker proceeded to load and activate the oven. This tragedy was the inevitable result of normalized deviance, a culture where human guesses were allowed to override physical safety controls. To see how this should have ended, we can look at the ghost timeline, the sequence of events required by the 6-step LOTO standard to tame the machine's energy. Steps 1 and 2 require preparation and shutdown. The worker identifies every energy source and uses normal controls to power the machine down. Step 3 is isolation, the physical act of severing the machine's power. Steam valves are shut and electrical breakers are physically disconnected. Step 4 is the lockout-tagout application. A worker attaches a personal lock to the isolation point. Under the rule of one worker, one lock, one key, no one else can re-energize the system while that worker is inside. The final stages involve Step 5, bleeding off residual steam pressure, and Step 6, verification. The worker attempts to start the machine one last time to prove it is truly dead. This physical lock-and-key system replaces the vulnerability of a coworker's guess with mechanical certainty. The coworker's guess proved wrong. Melena's body was only discovered 2 hours later, after the pressure cooker had completed its cycle, cooled down, and was opened for unloading. Bumble Bee Foods agreed to a $6 million settlement to resolve the criminal charges. This remains the largest payout for a workplace violation death in the history of California. Accountability reached the plant's leadership directly. The operations director and safety manager were charged with 3 felony counts each and forced to admit guilt. This case signaled a shift in how the justice system views safety. Systemic energy control failures are now prosecuted as crimes rather than dismissed as accidents. Modern facilities are now designing out these risks. They use washdown-resistant stainless steel locks and metal-detectable QR codes that link directly to digital safety procedures, ensuring the system survives the intense cleaning required in food production. The core reality of industrial machinery is that automation is blind. It will process whatever is inside the moment a button is pressed. Safety must be treated as a constant mindset rather than a static manual. For more investigations into industrial safety and OSHA training, subscribe to the HSE Study YouTube channel. Tragedies like this are preventable, provided both management and workers honor the physical pact of lockout-tagout.